The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. Positive Talk Radio. My name is Kevin McDonald. I get to play and be your host today. And I'm so excited because we've got a wonderful guest for you today. Her name is Gabby Mazar, and she is doing a lot. She's really, really busy. And but that's not why you're here. You're here because of who you are and what you're bringing to the world. And I think it's great. So without further ado, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me today, Kevin.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's you're doing something that not a lot of people are doing, and I think it would be if I when I was a little younger, I used to travel for a living, and so I stayed in all kinds of hotels and stuff, and flew around the country selling dead chicken. By the way, I'm maybe the only dead chicken salesman you've ever met, but
maybe.
But me,
maybe not. I don't know.
you just don't know. But
I mean, you could have sold live chickens. I mean, I don't know.
I could, but then they'd have to kill it. It would be like a self-service chicken thing,
right?
They'd have to chop their. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
No, let's not go there.
So it's great to have you on the program, and you're doing a lot. First of all, let's talk about your Pilates studio and what you do with that. And that's in Tempe, is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I own a Pilates and fitness studio in Tempe, Arizona. It's kind of all-encompassing fitness. So we do Pilates. We have mat Pilates, reformer Pilates, tower Pilates. We have all the equipment in the world, but we also do other sorts of exercise too. So I do personal training, and I have a couple personal trainers also, as well as about 10 teachers that work for me. And we have like 60 classes a week. We're open 7 days a week, and we have TRX classes, bar, yoga, weight training classes, circuit classes, stretch classes, just kind of anything you can think of related to fitness. So my goal was to make it kind of all encompassing health and fitness, not just specified to reformer Pilates.
Well, you are so good at this. You've got such a large studio. You've got so many teachers, and you're so involved that occasionally, you were telling me before, that sometimes your teachers say, Gabby, do you got something to go do? We really don't need to have you here all that much because we're doing just fine. Thank you very much. Is that true?
They do sometimes ask me if I ever actually take a time off, even when I'm not there. And I mean, I guess, as an entrepreneur, you kind of are always going, always thinking, always doing, even if you're shut down and checked out, you're still going all the time. So it's, even when you're not working, you're working. Even when you're sitting on the couch watching TV, you're on your phone and you're thinking about tomorrow's classes or tomorrow's clients and scheduling and, connecting with your teachers and how you can make their job better and make your job better and make the client experience better. It's really a never-ending job.
So now, how did you become an entrepreneur? I talked to one gal who said, I started real early. When I was 5 years old, I put my tutu on. This is a young lady, by the way. She put her tutu on and go down to the neighbors and knock on the door and say, for 50 cents, I'll dance for you. And so that's how her business started when she was like 5. But how did your entrepreneurial business start? And when did you decide, I'm not going to work for anybody else. I'm going to do this for myself?
I don't really do well with authority, I guess. I don't like being told what to do. I know that's terrible. I should because, I'm the boss and I tell people what to do, but I like to stretch the limits and buck the system and try and make things better and more efficient. So, when someone wants you to do things in a certain way, they don't necessarily like when you're trying to streamline things in your way. And that's kind of, I always just kind of do things my own way. So working for other people just hasn't been my favorite thing in the world. So I would rather do it and do it my way. But I was a bartender and a server and for years and years. I loved it for a long time, but it's just I always wanted more and always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So when I started personal training, my goal was always to have my own business and always to open my own studio. And I actually did open my own studio it's about 12 years ago now. And that lasted about a year and a half before I parted ways with partners that I had. And just kind of went out on my own for a long time until I bought Pilates Tempe and now started Destination Fitcations as well. But I didn't always want to be an entrepreneur from when I was a kid, just because it's stressful and it's a lot of work. But it just kind of fell into my lap because, I like being in control of things. I think.
Yep, I'm with you right there. I got told by a gentleman that I was working for. He's sitting across the table from me, and he said, "You know, you're not a very good employee."
I I mean, I'm not a bad I'm a great employee, actually. I mean, I work hard. I always show up. I'm very reliable. It's just, it's not always conducive to what makes your soul speak. I guess that's really cliche, but
Nope.
I always want more, and I don't like to be stuck in a box, do this way, this is how it should be done, this is what it is. And I think that there's always a better way that you can do something, and I don't think we should be stuck in that. Even for my teachers, I give them a lot of creative freedom. I give them a lot of freedom to teach how they want to teach because that gives them the ability to do the best that they can. If I'm telling them that they have to teach to a certain song in a specific way, in a certain style, then they're really limited on what they can do. And I don't want to limit them either. I want them to love their job. I want them to love coming to work and have the creative freedom to be able to do what they do to the best of their ability because it's what they love and they're passionate about it.
We talked about that. First of all, I have to say, I think that it should be mandatory that everybody become a server or a bartender at one time in their life. Because
Definitely.
I tell you, it is the closest in my world. It was the closest thing to heaven. You get to talk to people. People show up because they want to be there. You don't have to drag them in. They want to come in. They have a good time, and all you got to do is facilitate a good time for them, and they will give you money. It is the greatest of
They do.
American traditions. that
And it's great for a lot of things too, multitasking and creating
Yep.
relationships and building a clientele and working with money and time management. You're learning a lot of things when you're serving, and I think that it's really underrated, and I think that people don't understand how hard of a job it actually is. And
Yep.
it's a very fast paced and it can be very stressful. I mean, I haven't served in 10 years now and I still have server bartending nightmares like,
So do I. So do I. Have you ever had the one where you're standing at the pass bar and you've got like a 7 table section and it's full and all your food is coming up and you're not exactly sure where it goes and you've got drinks in the bar that need to get out and you got somebody that you haven't talked to in 10 minutes. And have you ever said to yourself, I could just leave now and go out the back
Yes.
door and never because the stress is going to
And
kill me.
goodbye. Thank you so much. Yeah, yes, definitely. And I think it's hard too because I think when I left the service industry, I realized how much I loved what I do now because people are always happy to see me. I think in the service industry, a lot of people come in on their good days and on their bad days,
Yep.
and then they take a lot of that out on you too, so it weighs heavily on you, and after years and years of being in that, you kinda take that on, and you kinda get that angry, "That person's a jerk, and why did they do that to me when I had nothing to do with it?" And some things are out of your control, and I know now doing what I do, people are always happy to see me.
Oh yeah.
Even though people don't wanna work out, even they're like, "Ugh, I really don't wanna be here." No one ever leaves the gym is like, "I really wish I wasn't here today." No one ever has said that to me. No one ever. So,
Exactly.
they're always happy to see me, and I think that's I don't know, I think that's just so awesome. It's so amazing to feel that way that somebody appreciates so much what you do, and I think the service industry in restaurants and bars is you're not always appreciated for what you do. That's really
I learned a
difficult.
very valuable lesson one night. I was the last waiter on at the restaurant I was working at. It was 5 minutes to 10. There's nobody else in the restaurant, and I was about ready to. It was a hotel, and I was about ready to go home because there was nobody to wait on, and a party of six walked in at 5 minutes. Oh, see, you've got that look. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's like they walked in and they were all business people. They'd been in the bar for 3 hours and they were having a good time. And now they wanted to have dinner. So they sat down at a table for six, and I was mad. I was mad because I now my night that was going to be go home at 10 o'clock is now going to be 11:30.
Right.
And it was like I had plans, I had things I wanted to do. So I walked up to the table and I had that I'm really not a happy waiter look,
Mhm.
and that I have to be here. And I started taking their drink orders, and the guy at the end of the table, who clearly was the boss, he stopped everybody and he said, "Look," and he read my name tag and he said, "Kevin, we got two ways that we're going to do this. You're going to either relax and have a good time with us, or you're going to be pissed. You're going to get no tip, and we're still going to wait on us, and you're still going to have." So at that, it was that moment when I realized, it's not that important.
Yeah.
I'll be nice. So anyway, enough of that. I could reminisce about old restaurant war stories forever, but you've morphed into something that's much greater and much cooler than that. You not only do the Pilates studio, and what I really want to talk about is, and I'm not even sure I can say this right, but Destination Fitcation. Is that correct?
Destination Fitcations, yes.
And
Yes.
that you can go to fitcation.com.
Right.
Sorry, I have my teeth don't keep falling out. No, and you can learn all about what it is that you do. So, first of all, what is it that you do?
Well, basically, Destination Fitcations is a travel company where I plan the vacations and they are all fitness centered. So, whatever destination I choose, whether it is New Zealand or Slovenia or Nicaragua or wherever we're planning to go, I plan absolutely everything. Uh, from the moment we pick you up from the airport to the moment you get to the resort to the mornings. We go to breakfast, we'll do a workout, then we have an excursion. But I also like to plan in a lot of free time too. So I really want people to experience where you are and get a vacation, but also kind of understand that you can live healthy and fit all the time. So it kind of came about because I noticed that a lot of people when they go on vacation, even myself included, when they go on vacation just kind of throw everything out the window and just, oh, forget it, we're just going to drink and eat and who cares, and then they come back and the first thing people say is, "Oh, I need a vacation from my vacation." But why? Why do you need that? Like the whole reason you went on vacation was to get a vacation, to get away and to have that. And then you basically just took that time and ruined it all, right? So I wanted people to really realize that you could go and you could be active, but not overly active. You could still eat what you want, but not overindulge. You could still be working out, but not have it take away from your vacation. And I wanted to find places around the world that I felt, places that I've been or and have felt that were really amazing places that would be great experiences and amazing places to visit that would have the best experience for people and give you that luxury feel too. Like I want people to feel like they are getting the best of the best, but not, paying tens of millions of dollars for these vacations. They're paying for an all-inclusive vacation, all your food's included, all of your excursions are included. You pay for the vacation and that's it. It's done. You don't have to think about it. It's stress-free and you just go and have an amazing time. Everything's cured for you and then you come home and you're was amazing. So, that was kind of my whole goal with the whole thing and really what I wanted to do and take people on these experiences and have them experience the time of their life.
You are the epitome of an entrepreneur because you were sitting in front of a television set one night and you were going, "Gosh, I'd like to take vacations. How could I get that done and get it paid for?" And so you, no, I'm just kidding, because I think it's a really wonderful idea, because and it accomplishes two important goals. You can get a bunch of like-minded individuals together who can actually form friendships that can last much longer than the vacation themselves.
Yeah,
And it's all paid
absolutely.
for and it's all covered. And then all they got to do is show up and follow you.
Right, yeah, and me, who am I?
You know,
No, I
you're the leader. It's like
yeah.
a bunch of little ducklings. They got to follow you around or they're going to get lost.
Yeah, and I mean I'm pretty well traveled, so I wanted to take my experiences of two things that I know very, very well. I know travel and I know fitness, and those are two things that I can really show people and give people an experience and not just a hostel or some random hotel. Like these are experiences. This is something you will talk about and you will probably want to come on another one and be like, "Wow, this was the best. I literally had to think about nothing and I got to see amazing things and eat amazing food and still have drinks and be by the infinity pool overlooking the ocean or go on a sailboat and go sailing in the Puget Sound or wherever we go. Whatever you're doing something that is an experience that you wouldn't normally do. And that it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool experience and you're going with a lot of like-minded people that really just want to go and have a good time too.
And what's nice is that when you come back from a fitcation, you can get step on the scale and not be cursing yourself for all the stuff. It's like
Right.
when you go when you go on a cruise. I've never understood this, but you can eat anything you want all day, all night, and stuff like that. And all you do is pig out and to do stuff that's not healthy for you. And then you come back and you feel like crap. And
Right.
it takes you 2 months to get back to where you were before you went on vacation. So this is a way to avoid that, and you're taking them to some of the best resorts in the world at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the greatest resorts. One of the Nicaragua one I have planned is it's a private property. They farm the land there, so their land, most of it is actually protected land, and they farm it there. So everything that's made in that property is coming from that land. Their chickens, their cows, their vegetables is it's not everything, but 60% of their food. So it's all sourced locally and all most of their food is grown there. So you could do stuff on the property that's extremely safe and also healthy for you as well. You have a private access to a private beach that's protected. You have the sea turtles that are also coming to lay their eggs there, and that's protected land too. So everything I try to do, I want it to be eco-friendly too. I want people to be able to see that you can live very, very well eating very healthy, still have things that are amazing, and then come back to life and just make it seamless. Make it like I needed that reset button in my life, not that cruise where you've just sat at the buffet line and then probably got norovirus, but you're scooping your buffet line and then you just feel terrible. I mean, I know that I've done it. I know I come back and my clothes are too tight. I'm like, ugh, I never want to feel like that again. So I wanted people to feel that. I really want to make health and fitness and that a lifestyle all the time, not just part of the time. And that's my goal with my businesses, period. Even with Pilates Tempe, my goal is to make people understand that they can have a well-rounded life and still be human beings, because we all do things. We're all going to have cookies sometimes or drink sometimes or live our lives and not be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Not anybody on this planet is perfect, and if they are, they're probably pretty miserable,
and they're just not someone that you want to hang around with. It's like,
Right. I
are
mean,
you really going to eat that? Oh my god.
yeah.
You know. But oh, by the way, I wanted to mention this would be a perfect reality show. That every week you take some group of people, random people that just met each other, to another destination, and they spend a week there, and we find out who likes each other at the end of the time, and all that kind of,
Because they all hate each other. No,
yeah,
that doesn't happen. No.
that doesn't have, well,
Yeah.
actually,
All
because they're
right. You
like-minded
find
people.
the person to pitch this to and deal.
I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
the problem with. That's why I'm not a great entrepreneur. That I have not made that connection
Great.
between
Thanks.
between the great idea and how to get it made. So,
Yeah.
but and you mentioned um, uh, Puget Sound. That is right outside that window out there.
Yeah. It
Yes.
is right outside your window. Yeah. See, you could do that.
Yeah, I
You could
know.
come meet me on a sailboat in the Puget Sound.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would really be a kick, and to go through the San Juans and all the way out there
It's
and stuff.
beautiful.
It is. It really
It's
is.
absolutely beautiful, and there's so much to do around there that's active, and hiking and biking and sailing, and I don't know if you'd wanna swim. It might be a little cold, but you could, I guess.
Well, it is most of the time. It's not
Yeah.
all that warm. Like as an example, you're in Tempe. What's the temperature in Tempe today?
I think it is 100. I could check. Let's see. Right now it is, 100. Man, I was spot on.
You were. You were. Guess how hot it is. Boy, is it hot. Guess how hot it is here.
78.
No, it's 62.
Oh,
So it's like parka weather most of the day. Most of this
balmy.
yeah, this is the worst year we've had in a long time. As far as we've only had like 3 days over 70. Can you imagine all year? So anyway, enough of that. But you take people all over the place, and you make it work. As an example, like in Seattle, you can drive 50 miles and go do anything, including that mountain in the back, which is called Mount Rainier, if
Mhm.
you wanted to do that. So and you pick places like that where people can have a great time and
Right.
to do all kinds of stuff. I think that's a great idea. How's it being received, or how has it been received?
Well, we only did one so far, because of 2020. So I had the first one we did, we went to Costa Rica and it was so much fun. We had a blast, and one of the couples that was on it is like ready and waiting and willing to go on the next vacation. I do have a couple people that are waiting for me to plan the next couple because they want to do New Zealand. A couple people want to do Slovenia, so I'm getting those together now. But the first one was amazing. It was wonderful. And I had 3 planned for 2020, which all, of course, got canceled.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so now I'm getting back into it and trying to get people, get the interest back into it. And I think once people are ready to get traveling again and feel comfortable again and get back into it, they will. Definitely.
How do you work the logistics? Because if you're going to start, as an example, for the Costa Rica trip, where did everybody have to meet?
So it depends on where you're coming from. If everyone's coming from the same place, we would meet at the airport. But if people are coming from different places, we schedule pickup. So you schedule a pickup from the resorts. So whoever comes at whatever time gets a scheduled pickup. Uh,
Oh, so
so,
they can fly into the resort town themselves,
yep,
so that way they can, on the return visit, they
yep.
don't have to do layover and then
Yeah,
another layover.
and we schedule private transfers to wherever you are coming from. So if wherever you fly into, so say, we're flying into Nicaragua and someone's flying from Seattle, then they would be picked up at the airport
That is a
in Nicaragua.
that is a really cool service. So
Mhm.
it's top notch all the way, and people, all they got to do is show up and bring their luggage with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I want it to be as seamless and easy as possible. I don't want anybody to have to think about a thing. I think that vacations are stressful enough, life is stressful enough. So put all that stress on me. No, no, I want people to be able to really let go and go on vacation and just go and not have to think about anything and not have to think about what excursions to plan and even when you go on a cruise, you have 800 excursions and they're like, "Okay, which ones do you want to go? What book before they book up?" And it's like, I have no clue. I mean, wouldn't it be nice for someone just to say like, "This one is the most popular. This is what we're going to do because this is what you should see."
The problem with vacations is that when you get there, all the information that you picked up before you left doesn't seem to be true most of the time.
That too. Yeah. Yeah.
And so you get there and you're like, okay, now what do you want to do? I don't know. What do
Mhm.
you want to do? And so you end up wasting a lot of time, where if it's a lot more structured,
Right.
and not structured to the point where you're regimented, but you have an opportunity to go here and there, and I imagine you can even pick, if you decide, nah, we're going to stay home and sleep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I wanted to make it so that people could decide to opt out of things or do something different that day too. So if they want to do a beach day or if they want to do a day in town wherever we are, like if we're in Slovenia, I would be staying somewhere close to Isola or Koper, and you could go into town and go to the farmers markets and just kind of walk around. So things that are kind of walkable. And in Nicaragua, they have the resort that we're staying at has bikes, and you can just pick up a bike and go biking whenever. So I try to plan them so that you can just kind of do your own thing too, because again, it is your vacation, and I want people to feel like they have the opportunity to just chill if they want, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be so regimented on vacation that I feel like, "Okay, get up at 7 a.m. We're gonna do an hour workout, then we're gonna have breakfast, then we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this." That's not relaxing to me. That's like, "Okay, I'm already stressed. I'm already, no, no, I don't wanna do that," And maybe that's what people do want, and there are those vacations, there are those, like, retreats, yoga retreats or weight loss camps or other vacations like that. But that's not my goal with this. My goal is to be very relaxed and kind of fluid with it too. Like if the whole group decides we don't want to do this, all right, we can figure something else out. No big deal.
That's a really cool way to have a vacation. So again, go to destinationfitcation.com. I love that. That it flows right off the tongue. And even for me, that's hard. And so destination fitcation. See, I told you. Destinationsfitcations.com, and you can find out all the information you need to about that. If somebody wants to contact you directly about that, to ask questions about it, how do they get a hold of you?
They can email me at Gabby@pilatestempe.com. So it's GABI at pilatestempe.com. And you can just email me and I'll get back to you as probably within minutes.
because
You
you're
know, because that's just
how
what I
you are.
do. Should
Hey,
stop doing that, but that's okay.
hey, Gabby, why don't you take a day off or two?
Yeah.
That'd be just well. Got a question for you because now I'm sure everybody on the planet, other than me, has got a real good idea what Pilates is. I've heard the term, never been to a Pilates studio, never seen it performed. I assume that it's way out of my league. Tell us about Pilates. How does it work and what is it?
So Joseph Pilates was the creator of Pilates. Um, it's basically movements. People think it's like yoga, but it's not. It does have some yoga-ish moves, like some cat cow type movements and some knee sway stuffs. But it's centered around moving the body in the most functional way. So you're using your core, your trunk, and you're using your breath, you're using control, you're using concentration to really get your body to peak performance, I guess is how you want to say it. So let's say you're trying to do an exercise, let's say leg circles. So you're laying on your back, you have one leg in the air and you're trying to do leg circles, but the goal of the leg circles is to be able to circle the leg without rocking and swaying the hips or the body side to side. So it's the control of the movement, the control of the breath to be able to circle the leg in each direction. Really focusing on each of those exercises. So mat Pilates has very specific exercises. There's some very traditional exercises that you work through, um, that kind of get you to the best of your ability, flexibility wise, strength wise, core wise, because your core is really what's most important because it protects all your organs, keeps you standing, keeps you breathing. You
Those are
know,
all
it's
good things.
it's it's important to have strength here, and I think even if we're doing, let's say, just sit-ups or crunches or any ab exercises, you're not really using all of your core muscles in the most effective way. So he really wanted to do all the exercises to be the most effective and most efficiently. They say that how what it started as was he was rehabbing people during the war, um, in the Isle of Man, and he hooked some springs like the old cot springs to help rehab soldiers, and was
Oh
using the
yeah.
springs on the bed. If that's true or not, who knows? Probably, but um, he was using those to help rehab people, and that it kind of came about because of that. So it's very interesting. It's a completely different modality than really any other form of exercise, and changes your body in ways that you wouldn't ever see. Even when I first started, I have always exercised. I have always had strength. I've always worked out. And even when I started doing Pilates and working on the reform of myself, it was like, oh yeah, I'm never going to be able to do that exercise. And now I can do whatever it is that I thought it was absolutely ridiculously crazy, and I can do it. And other people look at me like, oh yeah, right. I'm never going to be able to do that. But
Yeah.
you know, it
The question begs to be asked, because you mentioned it, and I don't have any earthly idea what it is. You said a cat cow. What is a
cat
cat?
oh. So cat cow it's a yoga movement where you're on your hands and knees and you're just dropping your belly to the floor and then arching your spine up to the ceiling. So it's a movement. It's a movement of the spine. So you're articulating the spine and kind of stretching the spine. So spine movement is really important also. Joseph Joseph Pilates said that his basic philosophy also was that the flexibility of your spine really determines your age. So the more flexible your spine, it doesn't matter how old you are in numbers, you are younger because you are more flexible and more Um, I don't remember the exact quote it is. I should have written it down, but I didn't.
Well,
But
uh,
but yeah.
apparently I'm like really old, because but after you've been on the planet for a while and you've had back surgery and all that kind of stuff, you have to be a little careful. But
Oh, see, but you know what? My dad does Pilates twice a week, and he just actually had back surgery. And I will tell you that it made a huge difference. Just him, he's 75 years old and was able to recover from having two vertebrae fused pretty well.
good.
He's able to stand and walk around, and having that core strength was a huge help. So anybody can do it. If my 75-year-old father comes in and does Pilates,
So
you would absolutely be able to do it.
how old was he when you were born?
My dad, he was
Yeah.
what, you want me to tell you my age?
No.
He was
I
my dad, he
wanted
was
to, I
36,
see
36
that's
or 37.
see that was where I was going with that is I'm old enough to be your father. So I'm Pilates is not I really need to give that a try. I
You
really should.
should.
Yeah.
Don't just disregard it and say that you can't do it, because if you think you can't, then you're right.
No, I can do anything.
That's
I
right.
doggone it.
See,
I have
positive
been.
talk radio. Come on.
You are exactly right. How foolish of me, because it is. You're right. We can do anything that we set our minds to. And I
Mhm.
was listening to a podcast that you were doing. Let's talk about your podcast for a little bit. How long you been doing it?
I have been doing the podcast since 2018. Um, I have about I think 88 episodes. I did take a break during 2020. I needed a little mental health moment.
And we all.
A little bit, but yeah, running a business during 2020 was a little bit stressful, and the podcast was not on my radar at the time. But I did pick up again last year, and have about 88 episodes, I think, is what I have put out now. But my idea with the podcast was just to get people on and talk about their lives, their health and wellness, and their journeys, and what they have been through, and how they have overcome obstacles, and mental health, physical health, money matters, just basically anything, because your health really isn't just about exercise. It's,
Nope.
stress plays a huge role, and money plays a huge role, and relationships play a huge role, and time management plays a huge role, in your job. So really absolutely anything out there plays a role in your health and fitness. So I just wanted people to tell their stories about their lives.
Well, we can't have enough of that. And so I applaud you. I was looking at your podcast, and it's very much like what I do here on Positive Talk. And it is important because the more voices that we have out there, the more outlets for it, the more people that will listen to it and take it to heart. Because we need to raise the vibration of the planet. We are in the midst of a great big change. And so I applaud you and thank you for doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted people to know that everybody has a story,
Uh-huh.
and that everybody has someone they can relate to. Everybody grew up differently, but similar to somebody else out there. Somebody else may have gone through the same thing. Maybe somebody else, went through bankruptcy and dealt with a death, or had Lyme disease, like my last client. But everybody has a story and something they've overcome, and how they've overcome it can possibly help somebody else. And again, like I said, with my what I do, my goal is to help people be healthy all around. Like, I want people to get help mentally, get help physically, whether it's with me or whomever. I think it's just important that we take care of ourselves, because I don't think that a lot of people do. I think that a lot of people just think, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. It's okay. I'm too busy. I have this, I have that, I have kids, I have job, I have this. But at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, how can you take care of all those other things? You can't take care of your family if you're sick. You can't go to work if you're sick. And or dead, if you're
That would be a problem. Yeah.
yeah, right? If
If you're dead,
something happens,
yeah.
if you're dead, you can't go to work. But if something happens to you, let's say, then it may not necessarily obviously affect you anymore, but now your family is affected. Your kids are living without a parent. Your spouse is living without you, and who knows what you've left behind. And I think that it's so important that we focus on all aspects of our health, because it's not just one piece of the puzzle. Exercise isn't one piece of the puzzle. What you eat and consume, and not just consume food wise, what you consume in media, what you consume on television, and what you're listening to, what other people are telling you, whether what if people are being negative around you all the time, that weighs heavily on you. So you want to surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with a positive community. Like, those things are so very important, and I think we don't think about it. We let a lot of those things slide, and I really want people to listen and hear, and hear other people that have done well for themselves, and know that they can reach out for help and be better too.
That is what we are all trying to help people with, and that's what I do. Is I bring people on to, like you, who not only are you're doing the Pilates studio, which is Tempe Pilates,
Mhm.
but you're also doing the destination fit vacations, fitcations.com. And you can, and I'm glad you're starting this again. I know COVID was a bad time, and 21 wasn't a whole lot better, but we seem to be doing a little bit better in 22,
We'll see.
maybe. Yeah. And if you decide that you want to take a group of people to a place that doesn't have snakes, New Zealand would be a good place to go.
Yeah,
Then,
right?
then I'm in. but no, everybody else has snakes and stuff, and I don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's a pleasure having you here, and I really enjoy talking to you. And you're really cool at what you do, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that too.
And
I mean, who
and
doesn't like being complimented?
well, of course. Well, uh, their compliments have got a good side and a bad side. Because a lot of times you get complimented and you don't believe what they say, and that, which is probably not the good thing either. So I have a friend. She's a life coach, and when I say you look beautiful today, she says I accept that, rather than, oh well, thank you, and it's okay, and or not really, I got a hangnail here, or because we all tend to deflect that sort of thing.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
accepts it. She says, yep, thank you, that's good, I like that. So that's what I'm doing now, is saying, thank you, I appreciate that.
I
So
accept that.
exactly. This is the part of the program where I like to step aside and allow you to say anything that you would like, as long as it's clean, to my audience that is listening now and in the future. So what if you had something that you would like to tell our audience? What would it be, Gabby?
I think I would like to tell people that positivity is inside of you, and you can do absolutely anything you want. So don't limit yourself to your limiting beliefs. You can start a new career, or travel the world, or start a new exercise program, or whatever it is, a new diet, a new go see a counselor, whatever you need to do to improve your life. Take that first step, because you can do anything you set your mind to, and it's just a matter of taking baby steps to reach that goal. And if you don't take action today, or tomorrow or the next day, you're never going to get there. You have to believe what you want to happen and go get it, because wishing and hoping isn't going to get you there. You have to take action on the things that you want.
Perfectly said, because that's really is true. And the thing is, follow your passion. And if you follow your passion, good things will happen. You know, my son said to me, because I have a program called Positive Talk Radio. I don't know if you've heard of it. But it's, and my son says, you know, when you were younger, because he's been around, he's 34. He says, when you were younger, you weren't like this. And I said, well, you know, I've grown, I've learned, and things are different today, and I feel differently about things today than when I was flipping people off when you were 5 years old in the car. And stuff like that. So, you know, it's important that life is a journey, and we continue to learn. And one of the great places to learn would be on vacation.
Exactly. So book that vacation and come with me and live your best life.
Again, go to the website, destinationfitcations.com. And you can learn all about what Gabby's doing, and when the next excursion is going to be, and how you can enroll, and all that kind of good stuff.
And all my podcasts are on that website too. So on the main page, it says podcast. So you can just go right to the Fit Minute podcast. You can find the podcast on Apple. It's called the Fit Minute Podcast, and you can find it on Apple, on Google, on my website, pretty much anywhere. On YouTube. I'm on YouTube also.
Yes, indeed. So you do video on YouTube as well? Like, you're going to be on Positive Talk Radio YouTube channel right when we get done.
All right.
So if people miss part of this, they can go there and they can get, and you're going to be up there forever. I hope that you
forever.
As a matter of fact, I have it in my will that my kids are not allowed to take down any of the stuff that I've put up, which is like, I've got a lot, because I want it, because I believe in it, and I want the people. If I suddenly demise, I want people to be able to go there for a very long time. So you'll be there for a very long time, I promise.
Well, good. Hopefully we can bring positivity to the world forever and ever.
That's the mission. That's what we have to do. And I would love to go on a vacation with you. I think it would be, well, you and a bunch of other people, not just, you know, anyway.
That'd be weird. I think my boyfriend would probably not love just the two of us going on vacation together.
I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't love it either, because you'd probably kill me at one point in time. So I'm better off being, you know, with a group of people, and it would be fun. Although what would be fun to do one day is to take my portable equipment and to pack it up and to go on vacation with you, and to do podcasts every day from the vacation sites.
Yes.
But you see, you don't need me. You can do that all by yourself. So I think that would be fun.
Or we could do one while I'm on vacation in next week. I will be on a cruise, actually.
Really? Where are you going?
But this is my vacation, so don't try and fitcation me on this one. This is I need a break.
Well, and it's well deserved. But but I'm serious. When you do another fit vacation or fitcation, I will be. You can call in, and we'll talk about it on the show, and to promote the next one that you're going to be doing. Because I got a feeling. Now, how often do you want to schedule these? Like once a quarter?
Well, sure. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Maybe even more. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. We've been talking with Gabby Mazar, and I'd like to thank you so much for being here, my dear. You are delightful. It's fun.
Thanks. You're a delight too, Kevin.
Oh, I accept that. So wait right there, and I'll be right back. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember,